The jungle was alive with sound. A chorus of cicadas sang in the heat, while the distant call of howler monkeys echoed between the towering trees. Beneath the dense canopy, the air was heavy, humid, and almost suffocating, as if the rainforest itself guarded its secrets jealously. For centuries, stories had been whispered of Aztara, a city of gold swallowed by vines and time. It was said to lie somewhere in the Amazon, beyond rivers that bent in endless circles, beyond mountains veiled in mist, hidden from maps and men. Elena Marquez had grown up on those stories. Her father had vanished searching for Aztara 2 decades earlier, leaving behind only fragments of a journal filled with sketches of ruins, translations of glyphs, and half-finished maps. Where others dismissed it as obsession, Elena saw a legacy unfinished. Now, at 35, she had taken up his path. The journey began upriver, in a narrow boat cutting through black waters that reflected the storm-heavy sky. With her were 3 companions: a soldier-turned-guide whose scars bore witness to battles long past, a scholar whose hunger for ancient languages bordered on madness, and a local tracker, quiet and watchful, who seemed more attuned to the forest than to men. Each carried their own reasons for joining, but all were drawn by the same promise: discovery. Days melted into one another. The river twisted endlessly, and the canopy thickened until sunlight was no more than a pale glow filtering down in beams. At night, the jungle changed its voice. Frogs croaked in rhythms, owls hunted in silence, and unseen creatures moved just beyond the firelight. Sleep was restless, haunted by the weight of unseen eyes. The first ruins appeared unexpectedly, stone steps breaking through the earth, smothered by roots thicker than a man's arm. Idols with hollow eyes stared from the undergrowth, their features worn but their presence undeniable. Moss clung to every surface, yet carved patterns of jaguars and serpents remained visible, as though the jungle itself had failed to erase them completely. Excitement grew, but so did unease. The ruins bore scars not just of age, but of intention. Collapsed passages revealed pressure plates. Fallen stones revealed hidden darts. The air inside one chamber smelled of poison, still potent centuries later. It was clear. Aztara had not been abandoned. It had been sealed. Deeper into the forest they pressed, each day harsher than the last. Rains turned the ground into swamps. Insects swarmed in relentless clouds. Supplies dwindled, and tempers frayed beneath the weight of exhaustion. Yet still Elena pressed forward, guided by her father's journal, convinced that every hardship brought them closer. One night, lightning split the sky, illuminating a wall of stone rising from the trees. Covered in vines, towering above them all, it bore the unmistakable signs of architecture, not nature. This was no ruin scattered in fragments, it was a gate. The gateway to Aztara. Inside, time stood still. Streets paved with stone lay hidden beneath moss. Towers rose like broken teeth against the sky. Canals, now dry, ran through the heart of the city. And at its center, a temple taller than all else, crowned with a golden dome dulled by centuries yet still radiant in the storm's glow. The city was real, but with discovery came realization. Symbols carved into the temple walls spoke not of wealth, but of warnings. Depictions of floods, of fire, of the earth splitting apart. Glyphs that spoke of knowledge too dangerous to share. Aztara had not been hidden for greed, but to protect the world from what it contained. The deeper they entered, the clearer it became. Mechanisms groaned within the walls, as if the city itself stirred at their presence. Statues bore weapons poised to strike. The air was thick with a silence that felt deliberate, as though the very stones watched their trespass. At the heart of the temple, Elena found what her father had sought. A chamber filled not with gold, but with scrolls, tablets, and artifacts unlike any she had seen. Knowledge preserved, but forbidden. The feather of a bird thought extinct. A map of stars that charted not only the heavens above but movements far beyond human reach. Objects of science, of faith, of power. And there, among the relics, lay her father's final note, preserved in the dry air of the chamber. It warned of choices, that Aztara's treasure was never meant to be claimed, only protected. That to take from it was to invite disaster. The storm raged outside as she stood at the threshold of history and destiny. Her companions whispered of riches, of glory, of immortality through discovery. But Elena knew the truth. Some cities are lost for a reason. Some knowledge demands silence. By dawn, the gates of Aztara were sealed once more. The city returned to the jungle's embrace, its secret preserved. The companions left with nothing more than memories, some bitter, some odd, none unchanged. And Elena carried her father's legacy not as conquest, but as burden. The Amazons swallowed their tracks. The river carried them back into a world that would never know how close it had come to touching Aztara. And in the silence of her thoughts, Elena knew one thing with certainty. Not all treasures are meant to be found.